Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race. Today we have a round of 32 match, Osse versus Yagamoth. This is game one between them. I am Wolfling037, going to be your commentator for this afternoon alongside Mercer. How's it going?
Pretty good. Looking forward to this one. Always fun to watch Osse race Super Metroid, apparently. Oh no, here we go. Link to the Past.
Yeah, it looks like he was practicing a clip or something. Anyway, we are going to be having basically a standard open race here today. This is game one, of course, so there's not going to be anything too crazy just yet. That's when game two is when that happens. And, well, for all we know, I don't know who's even going to win this.
No, I'll tell you in a couple hours or so.
I mean, I'll know by that point, too. Looks like we got a Moogle sprite for Yagamoth. I don't know who Osse's picking. That's a bandit from Super Mario World. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not totally familiar with that one. I've seen the Moogle one a lot, but there are a couple hundred for people to pick from. We should be getting started before too long here.
Yeah. What do I wonder what kind of scene we're going to be getting today.
I mean, judging by the usual V31, it'll be something horrible. I'll go with Go Mode item on Laser Bridge and Pendant TR.
I'll just go with all that it's going to be an ag required seed. I don't know why, but let's just see if that's true. Starting off, Key and Sanctuary, 10 arrows in the Link's house.
Yeah, getting some different openings. Looks like Osse is heading up towards Uncle, while Yagamoth is at least heading towards Lost Woods. We'll see if he continues on into Kakariko.
Map check. We have a 5-6 crystal at Desert, Pendant at Hera. And I think we just have a normal crystal over at Eastern. Looks to be Crystal 1. So, yeah.
Your eyes are faster than mine on that. I didn't catch any of that on either of the two map checks.
I have trained these fast map checks. Arrows from the poultry, not a great prize, but maybe we can find some bombs. Oh, kills the hoarder crab.
Yeah, that Bugnet's not going to let Osse do escape, so we're going to be quitting out.
Heart container on the lumberjack ledge, and I believe the buzz blob, that green's the enemy right there on Yagamoth's end. It's in the fairy drop pool this time around, so good if you need healing, I guess, but not much else is in that pool, to my knowledge. Oh, never mind, full of magic.
I think there is a bomb drop in that pool, but I don't have them fully memorized. Hey, a sword in Lost Woods, that's nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, buffaloes are not the easiest enemy to defeat. You can't attack them with your sword directly, they will electrify you on contact.
And some blue mail to make the early seed a little easier going.
Yeah, and I say they can electrify you on contact, but for some reason, the gold sword actually is immune to that electric contact. Don't ask me why, I don't code this game. Guards also have full magic in their drop pool. Alright. No bombs to start things off just yet.
Yeah, I admit to being partial to this go into blind set without bombs play myself. There's usually somewhere here. See? Right there.
Uh-oh!
Didn't mean to waste that one, I'm sure. That was probably a mistake.
Well, it's a little inconvenient, but he can at least buy bombs at the house and then walk slightly back up to Chicken House.
Yeah, he's still got one for the well, which is the really annoying one.
I'll say, taking that sword, going into escape, it looks like.
Yeah, may have a read on Yagamoth as not liking escape. A lot of times these runners will go back and watch previous races that each other have run.
Lots of money in Kakariko, and the fire rod as well.
Here's our map and escape, so we know Dark Cross is going to have an item since the key was in Sanctuary.
Yagamoth making the bomb purchase here. Usually a pack of 10 bombs bought at the shop will last you the entirety of the scene, pretty much.
Well, they're a very common drop. I believe there's 17 total checks that have them. Bombos out of escape, and the single arrow in the chicken hut.
Single arrow, not that impressive. Bombos, on the other hand, that could be important. And if that is a required medallion from Misery Mart or Turtle Rock, we don't know yet. And I don't think we're going to know for quite a while. If Yagamoth puts off escape as long as you say, he might never get that in time.
Yeah, I don't know that on Yagamoth's side. It's just interesting that Osse would go back to escape so quickly after having to leave it from an uncle start. It's not a common play.
Was probably hoping to find some rupees to guarantee the merchant, because there is no guarantee that you'll get enough money to buy bombs and the merchant item.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading the route to farm bombs along the way.
Yeah. Does get 2 of the 50-50 bombs there. The only 2, actually. Gonna stock up on a little bit more. Yeah, 3 out of 4 50-50s is not that bad.
Yeah, and here's Yagamoth heading towards escape, so...
Now, here's something to note. With the new changes in version 31, because of Yagamoth holding that fire rod, the Dark Cross and the back of escape are in logic, I believe.
You're half right. Dark Cross is, back of escape is not.
Right, there might be like one or 2 rooms that don't have torches. It's been a while. It's hard to remember where all the torches are in this game. You don't really think about it. Ah, okay. So good to San and chat explaining it for me here. There are torches there, but it's not currently in logic because of an oversight.
And they're kind of retracing each other's footsteps here for the next few minutes, and then we'll see if Yagamoth takes a Death Warp back to Dark Cross and potentially the back of escape.
Well, Yagamoth did pick up Bombos there, so you don't have to worry about that slowing him down. What worries me right now is that currently we have no means to even think about Dark World right now. No hammer, no glove, no Moon Pearl, and we don't even have the cape.
Oh, Yagamoth getting an unfortunate health refill there. That's going to cost him a few seconds.
Yeah, 4 heart for peace. Always a bad sign.
At least the green guard was still alive and he wasn't depending on bombs to kill him.
And both Osse and Yagamoth are now going for that Dark Cross item.
Yeah, this is Osse's third trip to the castle.
No one has gone South Shore. No one has gone over the Eastern area. I'm honestly surprised by that.
So am I. This is a little odd. Not so much from Yagamoth. That routing makes sense. I'm a little surprised by Osse's routing of this. Yagamoth is going to go for these out-of-logic checks. I mean, there's a reasonable chance there's a glove in one of the areas you just named anyway that would put these in logic.
Alright, that goes through. Key rat should be to his left. There it is. And Osse is following suit as well. So these 3 items over here.
Well, that makes it.
Okay, so if it is a logic oversight and the lamp is not in play, then that is supposed to be our Titan's Mess, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, so either lamp or the other glove has to be around here somewhere.
Hmm. That's something we really honestly should consider, because if it is lamp, that could mean Ag is in play. And if it's Titan's Mitts, that means we have Mitts for Dark World, which is not much better.
It's much better, but yeah.
Well, it depends on who you
much
ask.
better than having Ag out right away.
Because even with Mitts for Dark World access, currently we don't have a means to get to the East Dark World, and that could require us finding a hammer or defeating Ago, and the hammer's over there.
I see heading up the mountain for the 2 checks, I guess, that you can do right now.
Like in the Divergence. Yeah, you can drop in an extra bomb there in case the first one somehow missed.
I like the Mambo strats. Master Sword on the old man. That's not bad.
That's also a hard lamp lock. Which means the lamp is out here somewhere.
Well, if we see the lamp, then that immediately brings the Agawin into logic, at least.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about right now. There's the Book of Medora.
Don't worry too much about it. Reasonable chance we can clear desert at this point, if it's not boots locked.
Yeah. Oh, but there's the mirror for Osse. He can do a little bit more in Death Paladin now.
Yeah, although Hera is a pendant.
I mean, you're up here. You might as well take a quick look around. Save yourself another climb.
I hope for his sake that progression isn't on the ether tablet then.
There's our Dark Hole map check. These Town and Palace of Darkness being the green pendant, are, of course, our pendants. Skullwoods is the other 5-6 crystals, so both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire are required dungeons, so we may need one, if not two, medallions this week. Or we definitely need one.
Yeah, but it might be the one we already have. Just hold out.
Yes. Okay, first item in here is a bottle. That does hold some weight to it.
Yeah, Yagamoth, the Wing Desert area.
Yeah, you know, often isolated check.
Mostly because a lot of the time you spend a while walking over here for 20 rupees.
Yeah. Second item found in here, it's just a heart beast, so Osse will climb up and defeat Moldorm just in case the pendant is required.
I mean, that's an early move towards a potential ped seat, I guess.
I mean, the book is in play. Osse doesn't know that yet, but the book is in play. We could check the pedestal, see if it is in fact required.
Right. You know, some people, just to clear this up if anybody's newer in chat, you do not have to have the book for the ped to be in logic. It just lets you know what's there.
Alright. Desert had a small key in the center chest. Could still be boot slotted to the big keys on the torch. Oh, actually, you know what? Osse never did a Light World map check, I think. He went in that blind.
Oh, and there's their mitts / first glove in desert.
Yeah, so that was the logical glove to let you get in the grave to get your Titan's mitt. So we're in logic now in terms of the gloves. What's not in logic right now is the Master Sword and the mirror that Osse is holding. And the bottle, actually, to that extension.
Yeah, but as soon as the lamp's the only thing holding you back from logic, it's usually worth forgetting about it if you have Fire Rod, at least if you can do all the dark rooms.
Desert is clearable. Compass on the torch.
Yep, last items on Lynn, Mellis.
Alright, so Osse will now begin the book. And actually, the book and the mirror and the fire rod eventually might lead Osse to going to Skull Woods, clearing off Mafia, mirroring, and check the pedestal.
It's possible, especially with the blue pendant already in hand.
Actually, I'm just looking here. We already have access to our Super Bomb. Once we get a Dark World, of course.
It's about to say, we kind of need to Pearl for that. Flippers here from Osse. He is a little short of Zora cash, but could get it out of the cave right there, right quick.
Alright, Lambo looks like coming up here. 2 shots each with the fire rod. Oh, quick dive. Misses the 1 cycle.
And unfortunately has enough for another shot to avoid having to fall back on Fighter Sword.
And only a piece of heart on Lamos, but more importantly than that, the first crystal of the match at 18 minutes and change in. Well, Eastern's got something for us. I think it has to at this point.
Zora could have it.
Oh yeah, the glove does put Zora in logic.
Osse heading over towards Desert. Gonna be following in Yagamoth's footsteps. I'm guessing Yagamoth goes to Eastern. It's a much more dense area.
Yeah, there's 3 items in the back of Sahasra's closet. He doesn't know where the green pin is, so he might talk to Sahasrara. And also, well, he's gonna check Zora Ledge, or the island here. And also, there's at least 3 items available, or at most 3 items available in Eastern. One of them could be on the boss. One of them could be in the vanilla baking room, which is logically not available to us. We need the lamp for that one.
Yeah, it's possible for Armos Knights to be in logic with the fire rod, but not the vanilla big key chest.
Well, Armos aren't in logic right now. We need the bow.
Because you need the bow. And yeah. There's our lamp.
There's the lamp.
So actually, either glove could be first.
Actually, yeah, you're right. And unfortunately, the lamp also puts our sword in our mirror in logic. And it also puts Aga in logic, so this could be a Aga seed in which Moon Pearl's on the pyramid.
Yeah, it's the last thing they'll do, presumably. A lot of checks left that are not that, such as all of Eastern Zora sick code. A ether tablet, as I'm being reminded by chat, thank you. That would be pretty horrible for Osse.
I think if you see Cape, then that cinches it. And Chad is pointing something else out that I haven't mentioned yet. There's actually 4 ways Aga could be required. Item on Lumberjack, which we know is a heart container, so that's out. Hard Dark World access requirement. And the other 2 that are still in play as well. Required for Eastern Dark World access. Or if the hammer is located on the Pyramid Fairy, and both of our 2 5-6 crystal dungeons do not require the hammer, so that is also a possibility as well.
That one's bypassable with glitches if you have the mirror, though, and they do.
Well, no, if the hammer's directly on the Pyramid Fairy, then they can't just dodge that.
Yeah, you can. You can bomb dupe in the water with the mirror bonk.
Okay, that's true. I would concede that, but it would still be a logical Aga requirement.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, it's likely that they'll find a way around that. I think that might require flippers. So.
There's the cape.
Hey, there's that cape.
Yeah, it's pretty solidly yelling in Agassi now.
No, there's no difference in yelling in Agassi between having Master Sword and having Master Sword and cape. It's exactly the same.
Fair point.
Like, it's really just, is the Pearl on the pyramid ledge, and you're gonna check. Like, Yagamoth's going up the mountain before that. You know. I do like Yaga going in and grabbing the rupees from that room in Eastern that you don't see too much. Gets them up to Zora money. Probably see a Fake Flipper play after Eastern to, I guess you just get Hobo with no Moon Pearl.
He might just go straight up and walk over there, because the Fake Flippers, well, ideally you want to do that so you, with the Moon Pearl, so you can check the waterfall, but without it doesn't really seem reasonable to just go all the way south just to Fake Flipper. Might still be faster, of course.
But there's Moon Pearl in Eastern, so ignore all of that. Yagamoth's going to be heading to the Dark World.
So still could logically be an Agassiz, but it's not for our Darkhold axe.
Yeah, and it's going to be a while from now. We've got quite a lot that we can see now.
Unfortunately, Yagamoth getting Darkhold axes there means that he will not get the Master Sword just yet, and will not get the book or the mirror either to check the pedestal, if he so chooses. Is he might just go straight into, going straight to Skull Woods to go clear the Moth. This is not going to be a really good Moth fight either. It is going to be a 5-part Moth fight with Fighter Sword. And whatever Fire Rod shots are left.
It's not the one I would pick, but, they're better than me.
Well, that's going to cost Osse some time. He just stayed put out of the eastern area. He's going to go elsewhere to look for the Moon Pearl.
Yeah.
No, he's going to go to Ether first.
There aren't that many spots he can get. It's not like he's going to do Aga, I would think. I mean, I hate making predictions at this point about Osse's routing because he has surprised me a couple of times here. Could really work out for him. For all we know, the bow is sitting here on Ether Tablet.
Good. We do have 2 bows in the pool, though.
Yeah, but it would mean he would go over to Eastern and full clear it instead of having to double dip it.
Alright, Ether, what is on you today? It is just 300 rupees. That does give Osse Zora money.
Yeah, not that he was far off it anyway, but, I mean, it could be worse. It could have been 20 rupees.
And yeah, as I feared, Osse is ignoring going to the rest of Eastern Palace. Granted, he probably wants to go in there with the bow, which makes logical sense. But at this point, we know the bow could be very likely in Dark World.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what he does. There aren't that many spots he's going to have access to. The trouble with the mummies here for Yagamoth, or Gibdos, whatever they're called.
And unfortunately, he had to use a little extra magic as well. Only has maybe 1 shot left in the Fire Rod.
Yeah, I can get a second here, but that's going to still be a lot of Fighter Sword spins.
And Moth is not an easy fight because those spikes negate damage because of how the Moth is coded. And And down goes Yagamoth. Yeah, this fight is very dangerous. And the armor doesn't help at all in this fight because the spikes do a fixed amount of damage to you.
Yeah, on blue mail, it doesn't really matter what you get hit with in the fight. It's going to be 1 heart. Depending on your mail for green or red, you might choose to take a hit from a spike or from Mothula rather than the other.
So Yagamoth looks to be leaving the Moth alive for the time being, going to go ahead and reset his health and just walk out of the dungeon for the time being. Which is the smart play, I think. Come back with a little bit more health.
I mean, he's at no magic, so it would have been really obnoxious to refill off the small pots in the one room.
Yeah. Granted, he does have the lamp, which will minimize how much magic he uses, but it's going to be a fairly slow movement. Zoro just with a heart container.
Okay, this has got to be Eastern. There's not really anywhere else unless he wanted to just completely make the crazy its own pyramid ledge gamble. But yeah, this is definitely a chance for Osse to make up some time because he's going to go in there with, Master Sword and more help for a much easier fight even if he chooses to go straight for Mothula.
I have at least seen one item here in Skullwoods, and it was 300 rubies just now on the Yagamoth end. I don't know if we saw the second item. Probably on the Moth, though, at this point. Either that or it's in the big chest and the big keys on the Moth. I don't remember.
Either of those is possible, I believe, at this point. Oh, and hookshot. And there's a very convenient full magic refill.
Very nice.
He was not going to have magic to use the cape.
And Hookshot's just a great mobility tool in general. And the reason, and that little movement right there, what Yagamoth just did, that is why the Hookshot can be there. Is because you can walk on the top edge of that pit. Something I actually did not know when I was starting out playing the randomizer.
Yeah, it's definitely a useful piece of knowledge. Now, Yagamoth is going to have access to basically all of Death Mountain on the first trip. Obviously not, Turtle Rock unless he gets a lot more items. See how much of Thieves Yagamoth chooses to do, if any. Opening it up means he's going to go in there at least, unless he gets something here that just completely changes his mind. But it is a pendant. A lot of times you'll see people do the front 4 and then decide based on how many of the 0 to 3 items that can be in the front.
Yeah, front 4 seems like a fine play. Treated this like a cave, basically.
All of the dungeon items he sees, other than the big key, which has to be up here, it's one less item that you'll get out of the front there.
Yeah, ideally I would like to see the hammer. Fire shield, not bad. That is one item out of the pool, but not exactly what he was looking for.
No. The fight it helps the most with, a little ironically, is a blind that goes wrong.
Alright, looks like we got 2 items in Thieves Town. Yagamoth is, gonna take a Death Warp.
Yeah, still doesn't have the mirror, so that's costing him a few seconds every time that he needs to get to the entrance.
Yeah, mirror, of course, is in Death Mountain Spectral Rock. Yagamoth has not been on the mountain yet. But actually, with that hookshot, you might want to consider going up there.
Yeah, I mean, without mirror or hammer, from his point of view, can't get to Hera, but it is a pendant. And there's a lot of items up there. Red cane is something we're very much going to need. That does give potential access to TR once we get the hammer, depending on the medallion requirement. Probably don't want to go in there without Ice Rod if you can avoid it, but, always a decent chance Ice Rod's hanging out on Laser Bridge.
Actually, with hookshot and Titan's Mint, kind of... The mountain feels like a really strong play. There's probably, like, what, 17 items up there now for Yagamoth?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna do the rest of this little loop down to Hype Cave, because without the hammer, it's really annoying to get back there.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that's definitely on his mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the near future for him.
Alright, Zombie, what do you got for us today? Not really a great item, but... I mean, it's one less thing that Yagamoth has to check. Yeah,
one danger spot for him, if there's a very relevant item, is Cave 45, the south of Road Cave, whatever you want to call it. Osse's going to be able to route that in with Mirror, whereas Yagamoth doesn't have that yet, and now it's pretty isolated.
Well, notice what Yagamoth doesn't have currently with him, that he could. He doesn't have the Smith following him. So, he could check K45 with the Smith chain, and that's probably why he didn't pick up the Smith.
Well, with no mirror or flute, like, you probably just go to the mountain before doing that chain. That chain is super irritating without mirror or flute, preferably mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, but with the mirror in tow, would probably be more inclined to take the purple chest, walk the purple chest down, and check K45 on the way.
Yeah, that's possible. It depends a little on what else he finds up the mountain. If he can start clearing crystals, may not do that for quite some time.
Speaking of crystals, Osse's picked up the crystal from Skull Woods.
Stun Prize is a fairy. That's actually useful knowledge.
Very. So Osse can check the Super Bomb, but right now the Super Bomb is not technically in logic because there's no way for us to get to the pyramid. And for all we know, the hammer could be on the pyramid fairy. It's very unlikely.
Yeah, so we won't see it for a little while unless we get some of the items to make that easier. Yep, 10 arrows on the ped today. Get your ped hype ready. I'm sure we'll be seeing those get pulled.
And Yagamoth is about to see the mirror. There it is. Now at this point, Yagamoth has a choice. He can either check Hera first, or isolate Hera, and then go check the eastern side of Death Mountain. I'd say get the mirror in tow, going to the east side first is probably better. And then on the Dark World side of Death Mountain, mirror over and then walk over to Hera. That would be the cleaner routing, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see. Yagamoth definitely knows that it's a tenet to do a map check early. We're going to see that ether tablet. This is a... I believe this was 300 rupees, right?
Oh, it looks like we did see the second item out of Skull Woods because the big chest was just the map.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if they currently have a setup to do the bomb tube without flippers. So they're probably going to want to see one of those, but you know, they've got a lot of checks in logic you're going to do before you do that anyway. That's a fairly time-consuming trick, although not nearly as time-consuming as doing Act 1. Now we're going to see a Hera pot here, I think.
Doing some select buffers. That looks good. Osse, meanwhile, has picked up the hook shot just now.
Yeah, he's going to be able to route in Graveyard Ledge here as well, which is nice. This is one of those checks that can be hard to get around to.
And Yagamoth is leaving the boss alive, which is good. We know it's not required anymore. Wow, that is some insane mashing from Yagamoth.
Yeah, make sure that block goes away. And Osse's setting up for a turn jump to get across, looks like. Gets it first try, very nice.
Very nice indeed. So, Osse is now currently out of logic, but we'll get some information all the same. Red mail for Yagamoth. It can be kind of hard to tell on the Moogle sprite what mail color they have, but it's the nose and the bauble on top of their head that changes color.
Yeah. Logic is generally only useful for determining like whether an item is blocking something. He could always go kill Aga 1, so anything he finds he knows he has access to with his item set.
Yeah. Of course, the drawback is if he's skipping stuff that Aga is hard blocking, it might take him a while to actually get around to it. Or he might get misled and forget a key item along the way.
Apparently went to that trouble of the bomb jump just to check Catfish, so...
Interesting choice to do that. I would have at least checked the pyramid as well.
I mean, if you can do it that smooth, it took him, you know, 10 seconds to set up or whatever. I guess power to you.
Yagamoth and Osse are going to be checking Super Bunny Cave at roughly the same time. Yagamoth, however, has done a much more efficient job checking the overworld, whereas Osse has been admittedly all over the place, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, but Osse has that crystal lead because of the Mothula fights.
Yeah, it's a really sort of interesting sort of thing we got here. Osse hasn't done nearly as much Dark World as Yagamoth, but Yagamoth has to go back and kill them off at some point.
Yeah, Yagamoth's going to have the option once we find the hammer to start looking in TR.
Speaking of which, we just saw what it was, and it was in fact Bombos.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So Yagamoth much closer to getting in than Osse by one item. Just needs the hammer where Osse's going to have to get that red cane out of the village.
Uh-oh. Osse, or Yagamoth rather, just made an error, I think. Did not
that?
check Spiral.
Yeah, he did it on the way. Yeah,
Okay.
He did it.
For a second, I thought he missed it. I was looking away. Whew.
No, he went up and down Light World before. They're just routing it differently. That's why Osse was doing the Dark World checks at the same time.
I panicked there for a little bit, sorry. But yeah, Yagamoth now with a full row of hearts will definitely be able to take on them off, especially with the sword upgrade as well.
The sword upgrade probably is a bigger difference for him, although not going to object to the extra 5 hearts.
And now also, Yagamoth is set up to check Graveyard Ledge if he so chooses. We know it's nothing. And also to do the Smith Chain, which could be something. We don't know yet.
Yeah, grabs a fairy. Also has the red mail that was up Death Mountain, so very loaded out here. Although only matters if you're getting hit by Mothula and not if you're getting hit by the spikes. Still, I would expect a very quick fight here.
Yeah, this should be a much different story now.
Apparently the red mail makes Osse's sprite go gray. Going the long way for the small health pots that are in that room.
That was strange. Yagamoth threw a fire rod bolt at the torch and it did not light.
And Osse about to get his cane. We'll see how he routes this. Hasn't done Height Cave yet either, but may do the Smith Chain in with this.
Moth is down for Yagamoth. So we've now tied up the crystal lead. And had the fairy as a backup, not that he needed it.
They still have it, so it's fine. Gonna do the ped check while he's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we already know that it's only 10 arrows, but Yagamoth does not, and will know now.
Yeah, I think now Yagamoth has most of the checks that Osse's done. I think it's just Graveyard Ledge that he doesn't have. So a little bit of an advantage there.
Yeah, I think the only checks we haven't seen that are in Logic right now is the back of scope of Thieves Town here, and the Smith Chain. I think that's it.
Well, again, they could kill Agus, a pod, and Pyramid Ledge, and
yeah, I was referring to. Yeah, of course, I was referring to checks without killing Aga. So this might be a seed in which the seed wants you to kill Aghanim just so you can get over to the eastern or the Palace of Darkness region. Which admittedly isn't that tantalizing because you don't have the hammer for the dungeon or the bow.
Chad is mentioning Bombo's tablet as well, which is also magic. But yeah, I mean that's fine. I just don't want to actually see Aga 1. It's the most boring sequence in the game, and there's been a lot of it in V31. So let's go stuff that will let us avoid that.
Yeah. Aga 1 is pretty much a 4-minute auto-scroller, basically. Give or take another minute. So Yagamoth is choosing to go to the back of Thieves Town without the hammer. And meanwhile, it looks like Osse will in fact be carrying the Purple Fist around.
Yeah, I mean these checks are a lot easier with the mirror than they are without it, and Yagamoth didn't have it when he was in serious. Also south of Grove Cave, I'm guessing we'll see that here shortly.
This could be the moment that Osse needs to catch up.
I mean, his the amount he's behind right now is marginal anyway. So yeah, it's just a matter of finding the next progression. Heart container is not it. This is now a very healthy seed, though, already up to 12 hearts.
So we have 2 items left here and 3 chests, including the item on the boss here in Thieves Town. So it's very likely that the hammer is locked in.
Yeah, I think Yagamoth just did not let the bomb go off in that bombable forum in Thieves Town. Maybe I'm wrong, but if that's the case, he's going to be very disappointed here in about a minute and a half.
Oh, did he forget to bomb the floor? There's the hammer!
Ooh, that's really good for Osse. He bombed it, but I don't think it went off before he left the room.
We'll see. It did not go off. And Yagamoth knows it now. Ooh, that is not good.
Maybe an item, I'm not sure what the count was at that point. That's gonna send him. Well, Purple just has Tempered Sword, not bad. That is gonna send him in the right general direction. So it might be good for Yagamoth to save him the time of the blind fight.
Yeah, but also finding the hammer in K45 definitely opened up this race significantly. It's now very close, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was very far apart before that, but that's going to keep him from doing some of the overworld that he hadn't done yet. We'll still do Hype Cave at some point just because of the number of items in there, but yes, quite a lot open to us now.
I'm looking at the tracker here. We still need the bow, of course. We still need the flippers and the flute, and potentially another medallion for Misery Mire. And of course the Ice Rod. So we're not at Gomo just yet. We're not even close. But we've got a lot to do now that we have that hammer. And yeah, Pyramid Fairy is also on the table now that we had the hammer. Aga is just straight up not required this seed.
Hooray.
Was looking like it for a little while there, to be perfectly honest, but thankfully it's not the case there today.
Yep, and Yaga getting his hammer. Osse gonna do the big bomb. Bow or flippers are like the items that open up a lot of checks. Flippers, Swamp's got 6 items. Bow gets Armos Knights plus Pod.
Yeah, I think things have shifted in Osse's favor here.
I still think it's very tight and not really.
Yeah, it's still close.
A lead at this point.
It's still close, but if I had to say who's in the lead right now, I'd probably say Osse is slightly ahead. Of course, it's not. I can't safely say someone is definitely in the lead until we hit go mode, of course.
No, I'm not a believer in that. I believe there are times you can definitely say somebody's in the lead before go mode, but in this case, nobody's making you say one or the other's in the lead. They're pretty tight.
Yeah, definitely Osse has an advantage, I'd say. And we did not find a bow in the Pyramid Fairy. Actually, Pyramid Fairy was complete garbage.
Yep, so nothing of value there. Looks like Osse's going to head towards Pod. I don't know what's in his bottles. I'm guessing because it's Osse that he probably knows the Mimic Clip. But that's
one
obnoxious.
I believe one bottle is empty, and the other one came with a free fairy that Osse has not used yet.
Okay, so no potion unlock of the camera.
And we can do the majority of Turtle Rock as well, as I've just now realized.
Yeah, no, I was about to mention that it's not what you want to do, so they're probably going to put it off a little bit, but it's, either 5 or 6 items if you count Mimic Cave, depending on if Trinix has the item, or if you find ice somewhere in there, which is not impossible, and would be the best case once you do it. Yagamoth, where are you going with that bomb, buddy?
Gonna hit the ledge first, it looks like. Might have forgot to drop the bomb off and then check it on the way back.
Goes for a free potion here. I don't think. It just gets another fairy back there.
I mean, it was worth a try.
I mean, if it was a potion, you get to do that.
Actually, I think. No, the screen just south of the Dark Earth Field is a fairy fountain, regardless of era or world. Yagamoth, I think, is gonna buy a green potion. Nope, dog shop making a liar out of me. Jeez. There is, of course, the potion shop. He can probably visit that on his return visit trip.
Well, he hasn't checked Zora, and it looks like he's going to do that right quick.
And actually... No, we don't have the flippers to check it, but with the Moon Pro, we have not seen this.
There might be a setup here for Ansela. I don't know all of them. I don't know why. I thought this setup required Ice Rod, not Fire Rod.
I think
I don't know every combination of it. It's entirely possible that that's doable.
I think he was attempting with the Fire Rod, but it doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 different setups for it, maybe more than that. I just don't know all of them, and the ones I know they're missing something for. Like they're missing bow, they're missing red meringue, they're missing ice rod. Let's see, going through pod, saving quits out.
Yagamoth looks to be checking. We got him back now. Looks like he's already lost his money and did a safe warp.
Oh, is this the Turtle Rock play? Okay, I like it.
I like it, yeah. Could pay out huge. Could be complete dud. Just like it looks like Osse's trip through Palace of Darkness was a dud. Can't you finish it without the bow?
I'll note I asked if this is Turtle Rock play, but there's really not much else he could be doing. I guess Spike Cave, but this isn't the way you would go. Looks like we're getting a fake flipper into Ice Palace here on Ossie's side, maybe. No, okay, this is going to be the waterfall fairy first.
He might
do ice after.
Yeah, he might do ice after this, but going to the waterfall first makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with doing ice is that it can't have either flippers or anything. It leads to flippers, and you need those for swamp.
Oh, blue potion, though. That would have been nice to have when he was in East and Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't that many spots left that are in logic. I think this Turtle Rock play may pay off. There are plenty that Yagamoth has. It's that Ossie just did like in pod. We already know they're mostly not anything. So the only thing that can't be an ice is the flippers. It could very well have the bow or the ice rod. The ice rod would actually be especially nice because then if Turtle Rock does have the progression, it means that Ossie gets to just do the one trip through there.
But it's also just as likely for Yagamoth to find the ice rod in Turtle Rock.
Somewhat more likely, there are more items there. But yeah, like, it could be a chain like flippers up here in Turtle Rock, and then that eventually leads to the ice rod.
Bogo stands no chance against the Tempered Sword. And Chain Chomps. Second most dangerous enemy in the game, actually.
The glorious single green rupee.
Yeah. Only 2 of them in the item pool. And the runners don't want to see either of them.
To answer chat, the deadliest enemy is Ganon. Ganon Hug in Greenbelt is, I believe, 8 cards.
Yeah, I want to say Chain Chomps on Greenmail can do 6 or 7 hearts of damage, and Ganon can do, I think, 8.
Chain Chomps, I believe, are 6, and Ganon is a Ganon Hug specifically, not like the fire or whatever.
Yeah, it's specifically Ganon's contact damage is the highest source of damage in the game.
But yeah, it's not great. That's it. I think the enemy that's killed me the most in this game is actually the Murderodactyls in Dark World. I've played a lot of Inverted. Nothing really so far in either of these locations, though. Can I burn it at some point for Osse? I even missed the pickup on that. Oh, there's the ice rod. Wow. That's pretty big.
No, you know what's even bigger? If the flippers are here. On Yagamoth's end. Because that would mean the scene is logically expected a double dip of Turtle Rock, which is disgusting. And honestly, I expect it now. That I've said it.
Yeah, I mean, unless there, I mean, I think there's still one item in here. Nope, just a red rupee. So I would be like 95% that Osse's going to go to TR out of here.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Osse will be heading to TR.
That's going to be an enormous difference.
I think the only thing that'll stop Osse from going up to TR right away is if Colster has the bow. But I don't think we've...
I think we saw 3 items.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but nope, that's the smoke key. So it's cane locked as well.
Yeah, kind of a moot point considering the cane was fairly accessible once we had Darkhold access.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Yagamoth getting tagged by the laser twice because you don't have iframes when falling.
You don't get killed that way. I think that causes a crash, although I don't know with the fairy how that combines.
You die in the falling animation.
Hey, it's the bow on Laser Bridge, so that's, you know, not the worst.
Bow on Laser Bridge. Classic Turtle Rock right there.
Yeah, it'll probably be flippers on Helmosaur now just to be, you know, maximum pain.
Alright, so Osse's now heading into Turtle Rock here. Yagamoth gonna use the bow to finish up Eastern and Pod. Oh man, it's really hard to see who has the advantage now.
Yeah.
Osse doesn't have the double dip Turtle Rock, but Yagamoth has the bow, which means he can full clear. It's so weird.
The thing is, Pod is a pendant, so if Helma doesn't have it and Green Pendant doesn't have anything, then, you know, it's fine from Osse's point of view.
Yeah. And we still need that flute.
Yes. As well as potentially Quake or Ether, depending on the entry requirement for Meyer. And, you know, 5% chance on the boots.
So, I'm gonna make a prediction with the logic right now. I'm not sure if I'll be right or not, but I'm thinking it's gonna be, if we haven't seen the third item in Eastern yet, it's gonna be Flute. Flippers are in Misery Mire, which is also requires bombos. And then
we've seen the third item. I just saw Yagamoth's map or inventory. He does not have the map for Eastern.
So it would be Bow Locked in Palace of Darkness then. I'm still gonna say it's the flip regardless, and the flippers are in Misery Mire.
Yeah, while these runners are covering, Osse's covering ground, Yagamoth's done, and Yagamoth's doing the typical eastern boss direction. Give both of these runners a follow. They're putting on a heck of a show for us. And, they deserve your Twitch love.
And while we're shouting people out, we'll shout out to Seiryu X, who is our tracker this evening, keeping those items up to date, and more importantly, keeping us honest here in chat, so thank you for that.
The trouble with these chain chomp jerks for Osse gets knocked off the switch there. Yeah, I didn't count items in TR closely enough to know whether Trinex had the last item.
I think I saw map and compass.
Okay, if that's the progression, that's super rude to Yagamoth.
So I think it's Bow to get the flute out of Palace of Darkness, to get the flippers out of Misery Mire, to get the ice rod out of Ice Palace, so you can finish Turtle Rock. That would be the dumbest chain that this seed could do. And honestly, wouldn't put it past it.
Yeah. That's possible. I mean, something that leads to flippers has to be accessible other than Trinex, and I can't think of that many spots neither runner has checked other than Helmasaur or, the Green Pendant tournament.
Yeah. Whatever the progression is, it's most likely Bowlock here in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where else there even is, though. I mean, I'm probably forgetting some spots that we haven't seen between the two, but I'm also... This is somewhere where Osse might have to go back and do some of those overworld checks that Yagamoth already did.
The only other things we haven't seen yet are any of the fetch quest items, but we haven't seen any of those pop up yet either.
Yeah, now there might be... I had lost track of items. I assume there's at least one still in Thieves Town, with Yagamoth having that trouble with the bombable floor, and then not having the hammer when he was in there for that chest.
Yeah, there is at least one item on Thieves Town. It's a 50-50 shot of whether it's on the boss or the big chest. But other than that, it has to pretty much be here in Bowlock's Palace of Darkness. And it's on the boss. Because I think Osse did a full check of everything else.
I believe so, yes. So if it's in here, it's either directly on Helmasaur or it is Green Pendant, so it could be, just outside and a mirror check away.
And I think one of the items is Blue Cane, based on the fact Osse's using it right now in the laser bridge.
Yeah, I don't remember if we got that in pod or in ice. I think it was in ice.
Oh, Blue Cane was in ice. according to chat.
And Osse heading towards Trinex. Should be able to reason out, if this leads to something that flippers have to be not behind it.
The worst thing I think that Trinex can have is the medallion that would be required to enter Misery Mire.
Could have the flute.
Could be the flute as well.
If it's got something that's progression, it just means that Yagamoth's gonna have to make another up and down climb. So. Nice Trinex there.
And Trinex only has a green rupee. The other Trinex had Turtle Rock get both the green rupees.
That's not progression, so nothing to worry about there.
So the progression is in Palace of Darkness.
Or Thieves.
And that pretty much seals the deal here, that this was logically a double-dip Turtle Rock seed. You need the bow to just get your flippers at some point, so you can go to Ice Palace to get your Ice Rod.
Not if it's in Thieves.
You're right, if it's not in Thieves, right.
Or Spike Cave, actually. I'm being reminded by chat that we have not checked that. Also by the fact that Osse is going there now.
Well, we'll know pretty soon one way or the other if it's Blind, Green Pendant, or Spike Cave.
Yeah, if Spike Cave's not it, I'll be interested to see where Osse goes.
It's not Spike Cave.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other overworld checks we haven't seen. There probably are, and I'm just blanking on one.
No, actually, I think we're done with Overworld until we find another item.
Did we see hammer pegs? I don't think we did.
Oh, no, actually, you're right. We have not seen hammer pegs. My mistake.
Okay. Don't have powder for magic bat. Yeah, I mean, there's... it does look like Osse's going to do pod, however, so... Yagamoth's going to finish this up first.
Yeah, Osse will also tackle Eastern Palace, get that crystal as well.
Yeah, he knows there's not an item there, but you do need the crystal to finish the game, so that's slightly important.
Alright, so the moment of truth. What is on this green pendant? If it's an item, I'd still say the advantage is Osse because Yagamoth has to go through goes through the entirety of Turtle Rock again.
Yeah, also Ice Palace.
But if it's not the item, then Osse would have to eventually figure out that it's Turtle Rock, or not Turtle Rock, Thieves Town. And I don't know when he'd go there. It's the flute on... Okay.
There you go.
Whew. So, flippers could still be in Thieves Town.
Yeah, but you probably don't want them to be. Just for the sake of a close race, we probably want to see those in the Mire area.
This is a really rough seed if you think about it. They pretty much last locationing all of their progression in different ways.
Yeah, although some of their trouble, like in the early parts of the seed, were actually done by sequence breaking. Like they went away from Eastern and Desert, respectively, by sequence breaking.
All right. Flute is active now for Yagamoth. Let's see where he's going. Pretty safe bet. It's Misery Mire.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a flute to 6, you have to think. It's at least 3 items, and you might be able to even get in there.
1 in 3 shot. Are we looking for another medallion?
We are not. That is Bombos.
Yeah, it's the medallions you have are always more likely to be the ones that are required, because the ones you don't have could be in GT or locked.
There's Ether.
Or just in Mire Shed. So we still need flippers.
Yeah, at this point it's flippers for go mode, I think. Or no mode, rather.
Yeah, with the exception of the, 1 in 22 chance that boots are required.
That is true. That's fairly low odds, though.
But it could still happen.
We don't know yet.
Definitely seen races decided by that. But yeah.
And we might find boots along the way for all we know.
And there's Helma down for Osse.
So really, we just need to figure out where those slippers are. They could be here in Misery Mire, because the bow was on Laser Bridge. They could still be in the hammer pegs. They could be in the one item left in D-Town that Yagamoth did not check because he did not get around to it. It could be in Checkerboard Cave, actually.
Yeah, Yagamoth would be annoyed by that if he has to go to great lengths to find the last item in here or something.
Alright. Torch is coming up here for Yagamoth. If we see a small key, then the key logic here puts the small key and the big key on the torch side. The compass, though. Alright. Alright, Osse gonna be heading up and finishing up Eastern Palace here. And yeah, we have seen both items in Hera. We have not yet seen an item here in Misery Mire just yet. There's one of them, though. We have seen 3 of the 4 items in Thieves Town. And that's pretty much it. We are running out of checks here. Armos for Osse, setting up a quick kill. Looks like he's gonna get it. Well executed.
Nice. I see using a bomb to get over that portal. If you're holding something, then you don't end up warping back, so it can save a few seconds there.
second item in Misery Mire is actually nothing! So it's a heart and 20 rupees here in Misery Mire. This is not where the flippers are. It's either the one item left in Thieves Town, and it's either the big chest or the boss. We don't know where which is where, because Yagamoth went as far as he did without the hammer.
Yeah, or checkerboard, or
It's either that, checkerboard, or hammer picks. That's the only 3 locations left in logic. And I think Osse is heading to check.
He's heading to activate his flute.
Yeah, check to activate the flute. Probably we'll check checkerboard before entering Mire.
Yagamoth didn't, so maybe not.
And wow, spooky action activated without boots. That is not easy to do if memory serves.
Boots don't have much to do with that glitch as far as I'm aware.
The dust, when you put down the Samaria block, you need to kick up some dust beforehand, otherwise the data value that stores that you're trying to preserve for spooky action does not actually, or gets overridden. At least that's my understanding of how it works.
Yeah, I'm gonna dodge some lightning last second there.
Only a key on Vitreous. I get those bosses mixed up all the time because they're both eye bosses. So, looks like it will be Checkerboard Cave. Or Hammer Pegs. This is still going to be a close race regardless. But if Yagamoth goes into Swamp first, looking for Ice Rod, I think that seals it. Because, as we know, you can go mode Swamp.
Yeah, well, it's not here. That's gonna limit Yagamoth's locations.
Yaga looks to be checking Spike Cave. A check he hasn't done yet, granted.
Yeah, we already know it's, I forget what it was. It might have been a heart container. I don't remember for sure.
I think it was bombs.
It wasn't useful. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's the point. It was not useful. So it's either the progression lies in Thieves Town and Yagamoth missed it, be it not having the hammer or not excellently opening the skylight, or it's in Hammer Pegs, which neither runner has checked yet.
Yeah, I hope for Yagamoth's sake that it's not actually on blind. That would feel really bad.
Alright. Where are you gonna go now, Yagamoth? This is the moment of truth for you. It's gonna be Dark World Kakariko regardless, the Village of Outcasts. Does he go into the dungeon he's already dipped twice for the third dip, which is gonna be the longest dip? Or is it going to be Checkerboard, or not Checkerboard, Hammer Pegs? And here's the worst part. Both of them could have the mushroom and the shovel respectively, and then it's another toss-up as to, do you check this item, or do you check the other location you haven't done yet?
Yeah, I mean, if If you happen to find like mushroom on hammer pegs, you probably do fake powder right quick.
Gonna start with hammer pegs. I think this is the right call, because if it's not here, then you know it's in Thieves Town.
Well, this is also a much quicker check than the Thieves Town one.
Yes. Yes, it is. Hammer pegs is the solution. There is the flippers, and we are now in no mode. Yagamoth needs to get the ice rod out of Ice Palace.
Yeah, let's see where he goes with that. That was
no, that's the wrong choice.
I don't even, it's the choice that's not gonna work out this time. I actually think just on the numbers it's the right choice. Go-moding Swamp and go-moding Ice are of pretty close value, and Swamp has twice the items. So I definitely don't blame him for the call. We just know it won't work out.
Yeah, he's going for the item density play, which makes sense. But we know the Ice Rod is an Ice Palace. On the right side, I believe. So, the only saving grace I think Yagamoth has right now is that Osse thinks it's in Thieves Town, which I believe Osse has been in the first 4.
It just seems unlikely that Osse would do Thieves before doing Hammer Pegs. It's right there, and Hammer Pegs is just so much faster. Not sure what else Osse hasn't done. I've lost a little bit of track of what each runner did.
Now, I want to say Osse has used a variation to set it up, but no, it doesn't look like it. So Osse will be doing the normal way you go through this area.
Yeah, now if Boots is on the left side here or something, that could be, interesting. At least leaves it to a roll of the dice once we get up to GT. But it is a D20 we're rolling, and Osse will have to roll a 1 for Yaga to make up ground that way.
Actually, it could just be bad if Osse decides to dip if Thieves Town, and that last item is the boots, or another fetch quest item in general, because that's a breadcrumb trail that if Osse follows is just a wild goose chase.
Yeah, we'll see what Osse does. I would just be very surprised if he surprised me plenty this seat, don't get me wrong, but doing Thieves Town before doing Hammer Pegs is just unusual when you have that option. Pendant Thieves specifically, obviously, but just a different story.
And unfortunately, based on what we know where those slippers are now, the double dip in the Turtle Rock was not necessary at all this scene. But it just happened to play out that way for Yagamoth, which is unfortunate, but it's randomizer. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where the items are.
Yeah, let's see where he heads now.
Because you could have gotten the flippers out of... Easily have gotten the flippers out of Hammer Pegs. Went to Ice first to get your Ice Rod, and then just full clear Turtle Rock for the bow.
Yep.
Nothing was stopping you from doing that.
Yeah, they could have had the flippers a long time ago. As soon as they went to K45. The thing is, of course, because both of them did that while doing the purple chest, it didn't really work out. And yeah, here it is. So Ossie's gonna enter go mode as soon as he does the very slow hammer pegs, or go mode with an asterisk.
Yeah. Could still have the big key on the torch. The one thing I think Yagamoth does not want to see right now is boots on Argus.
Well, I mean, he'd probably be happy to see that. He doesn't know where the Ossie is. Although I'm guessing Yagamoth. Number one, most runners feel behind always anyway. But given some of the troubles he's had, I'm guessing he feels pretty behind.
Fire, fire, spin. Nice quick kill. And 300 rupees as well. So that is the 5th crystal in the match for Yagamoth. Ossie is on his way to Swamp, and that is his 7th crystal waiting for him in there.
Yagamoth is heading back in, so we'll be doing the left side.
Yeah, I think the best thing for Yagamoth is if it's left side swamp for boots, and boots are required for our big key. I think that's the only way Yagamoth can come back from this.
Yeah, barring just like complete catastrophe sort of things. Because that's going to leave, like, if that ends up being the case, then Ossie will full clear GT.
Ossie has the big key as well, he's not checking this chest. But I suppose he has to walk around anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
In simultaneous different rooms, but both of them watching water fill in Swamp Palace.
Nice little trick there to get across the room for Yagamoth. I don't think that saved too much time because of how long it takes to set up, but interesting that you can do that. I did not know. Alright, Yagamoth finds the boots and left side.
Wow, okay. Well then,
That
roll the dice.
could be the game changer right there. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Well, I mean, I think it will be, in the event that the Gans Tower Big Key is on the torch, and I don't think it will even be close to enough if it's not, so...
Yeah, it pretty much has to be big key on torch for Yagamoth to come from behind here. He is definitely at a disadvantage right now, checking these overall checks instead of going to ice.
Yeah, that doesn't help. These are pretty quick, but still. I mean, the thing is, if it's on the torch, that's going to cost Ossie so much time. He's going to full clear the basement of GT looking for it. Yagamoth will, have it anywhere between 1 and 7. But yeah, it's, still like a between 4 and 5% chance it's not 4 or whatever.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have got the 7th crystal on Ossie's end, which means we have a game we like to play. We have 22 locations in Ganon Tower where the big key can be. Only one of those locations is going to be correct. Give us a number in chat. Tell us which location you think it is. It'll be in the order that Aussie checks them. Now, if you want this seed, if you're a Yagamoth fan, you want to see it on the torch. Just saying.
Yeah, which depending on how Aussie routes, this is 1, 3, or 7. Or 8 if he's a lunatic. I refuse to put in a guess this time because I feel like that would be going against, my sworn oath as a commentator to be neutral.
If I may be honest with myself, I don't think it's going to be Torch. I think it's going to be, we'll say, on the Ice Armos. Or behind them, rather.
It's not the big key guess where it won't be game. You don't get to say just not 3.
Well, the odds of it being 1 in 22 shot is fairly low, so I've tried to hedge my bets a little bit. And I also tried to be unbiased, and I actually wanted to be on the torch. Because I want this race to be closer than it actually is.
Yeah, like, there is a world where, like, Aussie still wins it if it's on the torch, but I think it's pretty decisive.
We'll
see.
find out here in just about a minute or so. Alright. The 7 crystals have broken the barrier. And I'd like to remind everyone that this is still game 1 between these two. Yagamoth can still come from behind and win the entire set in the coming days. Even if he loses here. First 2 chests here in the Hope Room. 10 arrows. And Quake. We have to see the torch now.
Yep. I mean, technically, he could have done tile room, but yeah.
Is the big key on the torch? No,
That
it's a
is
small
the
key.
wrong size key.
So that is the definitive Gomo now for Aussie.
And it's pretty much Aussie's race at this point. It would take it would take a complete disaster at this point. Some kind of power situation or something like that.
Chest number 4 is the shovel. Chest number 5 is a small key. Chest number 6 is a heart container. 7 is a small key. That's 3 keys across the torch and Stalpost room. Chest number... Oh, it's gonna count. 8?
I always just derive it once they actually find it. And Yagamoth enters go mode by picking up the ice rod there.
Yeah. He's probably about 10 minutes out. There's the mushroom. So there's all our fetch quests were.
Yeah. I mean, we had the boots and the book outside, but yes.
$10, $11, $12, and $13 coming up here for Osse101 in the random room. There it is.
There you go.
Chest number 10.
And Yagamoth takes down Cold Stare.
Alright, so Yagamoth still needs to go and defeat Trinex, and then we'll go into Ganon's Tower. This is still a pretty good race overall. A little bit of back and forth from the start, and then that one sequence where you go in Ice Paths kind of really set the tone of this entire seed for Aussie.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Yagamoth was, in good shape up until that point. That Ice Rod positioning and Aussie getting it before the first trip was definitely a game changer.
Alright, Gauntlet starting now for Aussie. Pretty good first room. Let's see how he handles the Stalfos room here. Nicely done. Loses his axe. Oh, one almost got away. Probably the most annoying one in the rooms, the Red's axe. And nice skating there with the sword.
Yeah, looks like just going to do some tempered plus fire rod strats for land mode 2.
Actually, based on what we know, unless it's behind that mushroom or the shovel, there's only like 2 locations that the silvers could be. Right side, right side basement, or on the top of the tower.
Or behind Ice Armos too.
Yes, that's true. We didn't see that. So more than likely, the silvers are in the tower. In some way, shape, or form. Or actually, they could be behind the boots. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reasonable chance they're here. I probably would check the chests. I don't know if Aussie will bother, because Aussie's a lot better at this game than I am.
Yeah, silverless is pretty common these days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's still faster with silvers, but tempered's not that bad. With Master Sword, it's 24 spin hits in Phase 4, which is much slower.
Well, you might still check these just in case. I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think you will, but you never know. He did check all 4 chests in Rando Room, so splits the difference, checks one of them. Yeah, we'll get it narrowed down for us by Ganon if we don't find it here in the next couple chests.
Spin in a slash, and that's all they wrote from Moldorm. Final chest of the game here. 20 rupees.
Yeah, could be worse. Brings Aussie over 1,500 rupees, so can make a down payment on buying back his house from the bank.
Alright. It's time for Aga 2. Looks to be at least a double pattern here. Gets it. Nice triple there. 2, 3, 1.
Well, don't count your chickens before they hatch, but does get the one.
Alright, with Aga 2 down, it's now time for Aussie to fight the pig. 12 slashes or 6 spins for the first 2 phases. This is all it takes to advance to phase 3. 4 slashes after that. To advance to phase 4, in which we have the darkness to keep the torches lit. And then, because we do not have the silver arrows, we must do spin attacks as Ganon teleports away. It's a very specific window, only about a couple frames. I want to say the arms raising is the tell that you can sometimes see.
Yeah, it's specifically a 2-frame window, I believe. Ask somebody about doing silverless hammer in swordless mode sometime. already into phase 3. That was a nice one cycle on each of the first 2 phases, which is as quick as you can do it.
Yeah. You can do slashes in phase 4, but it's, like I said, it's a 2-frame window. Spins have a longer hitbox, so it'll be more consistent damage. And they were in Light World, so they were not against Tower unless they were locked behind the mushroom or the shovel.
Which is a fairly likely place for them to have been, really.
Well, we'll know one way or the other in the credits. And if they're not, we pretty much know they have to be in one of the Boots Lock locations. Bonfrox or Graveyard or Kingstone.
Yeah, those are both possible too. I think those are the only 4 spots we didn't see.
Oh yeah, it could also be the powder as well.
Doing this very cleanly.
Yeah. Also got the torch glitch, which means by lighting the torch on the left, quickly the bright torch doesn't go out. And there we go, folks. Ganon is now down. Get your G's in chat for Osse101, who will be finishing first place in this race and taking game 1 in this set. Yagamoth is not out yet, but will need to win a game to stay alive in the tournament. And Yagamoth has finished in first place from the time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 32 seconds. GG once again.
There, Osse is finished, not Yagamoth. Yeah, but GG to Osse, that was very well raced. Definitely a high time for these sorts of runners, but it was a nasty seed even without Aga or Ped.
Yeah. A very long-winded seed, as we are now joined by Osse. GG to you once again. That Ice Palace play, then that was great. Well done.
GG, thanks. Yeah, I guess I was feeling like my early game put me behind, and so I think that I did manage to fit in a few outs that would let me come back, and that Ice Rod being the big one. But my early game was all over the place.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. You don't tend to see the quick return to escape after doing an Uncle's Start very often. What led you to decide to do that?
That was the sword and the small key at sank. But then when I got to escape, I saw I didn't have any bombs. So that's why I had to leave before going through the dark rooms. But it turns out that the rats had bomb in their prize packs, so I could have gone all the way. There's just no way to know that.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. I wasn't sure once you had put out what the reasoning was. I did want to ask about that. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else in the early game. You did decide to kind of go wandering around a little bit before doing Eastern. I'm trying to remember what you decided to do after Sahasrara's Closet.
I went so I got the lamp at Sahasrara, and then I went to Ether Tablet because that was in Logic.
Right.
Then I went to Zora, just because Zora was in Logic. You could check the ledge, and I didn't want to do Eastern.
Well, wherever those silvers were, they were either locked behind the powder, or they were locked behind the boots, which ended up being left side swamp, and Yagamoth did find those. So if the torch had been there, this would have been a very different race, I think. Definitely a lot closer.
For sure. But as it is, it was like a full clear seed without boots and pretty late flute, so real slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was discussing right before you hopped on. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I think the Ice Rod location was really the big difference maker. Yagamoth also had a little bit of trouble in Skullwoods early.
I was thinking he could have put off Mirror for a while. But mirror and ice rod were really all I had. And actually, the fluted green pendant potentially leads me to do all the slow overworld checks that I was doing.
Yeah, the flute, I think, led him to eventually get flippers. He did a full clear of swamp before going into ice off that, and then also had to double dip TR. And those are kind of the big things. I don't think the mirror really cost him too much, but actually not having that master sword probably did, because he ended up dying to Mothula with fighter sword and had to go back.
Yeah, master versus fighter sword moth is a huge difference.
Yeah, also Yagamoth did actually dip into Thieves Town as well. Oh, the one chest you didn't open in the upper floor was half magic. How about that?
It's kind of convenient for Yagamoth, actually.
But yeah, Yagamoth did attempt to check its Thieves Town. Unfortunately, missed the bomb on the skylight and could not see what if the boss had the last item. But there was nothing out there to note.
Did he go in with hammer?
He went in without hammer.
Yeah, so it could have been on the. It could have also been on the big chest, but ended up ditching.
And that's
out.
mostly why I skipped it initially, because we had an early small key. And I did mismark Hera as a crystal, so that's why I
that's
finished
why you
that
did
up.
that.
Okay, we weren't sure. I don't remember you doing a map check before that, so I wasn't sure if you were just figuring you'd full clear it either way, or... Is Yagamoth Nurse Aga 2? I think that was a triple on the first cycle.
Well, Jesus to you once again, Osse. Do you have any final thoughts about the scene before we let you go, as Yagamoth has defeated Aga 2 on our end?
I do want to add to the comment about my Ice Palace dip. It was part gamble and part reading the seed is giving us early Fire Rod and Bombos and Mitts.
Actually, yeah, that does make a lot of sense now that you said that. Early
There was
Bombos,
some
early Fire Rod.
logic to go in there.
Yeah, the seed definitely wanted to push you into Ice Palace. And given where the flippers were, it was pretty available. Just had to check K45 first.
Yeah, which both of you made similar routing choices there, doing that, with purple chest, which obviously doesn't lead to getting back up to hammer pegs anytime soon. As Yagamoth gets into phase 3 now with Ganon. And gets reminded that the arrows were not here. They're in the light world somewhere.
Alright. Yagamoth doing phase 4 right now. Switching to Lamp to conserve magic. Still has the blue potion, I believe.
Yeah, he's also on half magic, so we'll be fine there.
Yeah. Lots of room
Just
for error
another
here.
hero 2 away. Yeah, that was the last
And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in the chat for Yagamoth. Finishing strong here. Here. Will be down a game in this set, but can easily come back and win it in the next time around. And that is the second place finish for Yagamoth with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 23 seconds.
Yeah, he has ended the domination of Dr. Wily and may be joining us here in a moment in chat. Let's see.
Looks like Yagamoth will be joining us here in a little bit. Yagamoth, GG's and a good effort here on this race.
GG. Good evening.
So it ended up being Ice Ride, but but at least I was hopeful that those boots you found in Left Side Swamp were gonna be a factor. Sadly, they were not.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I really should have just sequence broken into Ice Palace. Like, I was so strongly considering it, I'm not entirely sure why I ended up not doing it. So, yeah, I felt actually really far behind. So I figured my only chance would be at that point if Ice Rod or something was Left Side Swamp. So that's why I went actually back in there, rather than just trying to skip through things.
Well, as far as we know, it's a 2 out of 3 chance that the boots actually lock the silver in this seed.
Huh. That's interesting.
Because they were Light World, and there wasn't much Light World left that we know of. It was just the Magic Bat and the 2 boots locations.
For me, it was also like Mushroom and Shovel.
Yes, but the credits kind of said, okay, they weren't there.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, it said, the witch buying drugs, and they said Shovel Boy feels in love again, I believe. But yeah, good effort to you. You're going to be down a game, and of course, as for how the tournament works, you'll be changing a settings. You want to inform the chat as to what you have changed?
Yes, I'm going to change it over to 6-6 because the Visor is kind of the bane of my rando existence, so I kind of like having the chance that I don't.
That you don't need it, yeah. Makes perfect sense to me after this seed, to be perfectly honest.
It's a general thing, like that's kind of more or less quote-unquote expected, almost. Not really, but it just feels like I've lost more games to Ice Rod than anything.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it works out for you. Hopefully you can come back and make this a very good series here on this round of 32.
Thank you. Once again, GG Osse, and thank you for commentating and tracking and restreaming. I really appreciate
it. Indeed.
Yeah, any other thoughts on the seed on your side?
Less dying would be useful.
Actually, I have a question here. Did you realize that you did not accidentally open didn't actually open the skylight?
No, I didn't realize that until I walked into Blind's room and was surprised that there was nothing happening. So I was just like, oh well, let's get outside. And I hope there was nothing.
Okay, as my follow-up to that, did you just thought you heard the jingle that tells you that it's the classic jingle?
I actually don't remember anything at all of that part. I was probably just trying to figure out what I should do after Thieves Town and was just kind of like autopilot.
Mm.
Yeah, I figured that was probably the case by you walking in there with her and then looking irate.
Yeah. I was just curious as also. GG's to you once again, Yagamoth, and also GG's to Osse. Give these two a follow. They deserve it. They did an excellent race here today. Can't wait to see Game 2. While you're at it, make sure to also follow my co-commentator, Mercer, SariuX, who is our tracker, and of course, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, so you don't miss any racing action, not just the Link to the Past Randomizer. Coming up next on the schedule, if I can pull it up here real quick, we do not have any more games today for the tournament. Our next game on the schedule is at 11:20 in the morning. Oh no, sorry, never mind. 12 2 o'clock, actually. Had to refresh that. And it'll be Pika Palace versus Illis, channel to be determined. Yagamoth and Osse will be rematching again and on Monday at 5 o'clock, 5:50 specifically. Well, with that being all said and done, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. So from all of us here at Link's Fast Randomizer, I have been Wolfling0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.